This should be a joyous time of year, right? We hit Thanksgiving, we should be thankful for things. Now in the holidays, we should be happy and merry. But for some reason, it's just the most stressful time of the year for people. And I'm no exception to that. I've been a little stressed lately. And when I get stressed, I want to think about the good things in my life and the humor in my life. And when I think about that, I think about the little kids in my life. At one point, it was my nieces and nephews when they were small. Now it's my grandchildren and Christy's grandchildren. And when kids are small, they're so much fun to be around. But at some point, they start to grow up, and then they devolve into monsters, and they're no longer fun anymore. So I like to think back to when they were little kids, and I have a few short stories about when my nieces and my grandchildren were small. My little sister, who's out in California, has 2 kids. JC, who is her oldest kid, when she was about 5 years old, they were in Target. And like a little kid does, they hide within the clothes racks, and my sister was getting a little irritated with her, and so she's trying to find her, and she starts kind of, JC, where are you at? And my niece shrieks out, Mommy, please don't beat me. Which is really funny because none of my sisters ever even laid a hand on any of my nieces. So where she got that from, who knows? My sister was horribly embarrassed, and needless to say, they didn't stay at Target. They left immediately. JC has a little brother named Jack, and like most siblings, they fought constantly as kids. It's a good thing I didn't have kids because I would have just let them go at each other. My sister, however, didn't like them fighting, and she would always scold them. And I remember driving in the car with my sister. The kids were in the back, and they were arguing like they always do. And I turned around, and I said, just go ahead and beat the heck out of each other. And the fists started flying immediately. I didn't think they would take me seriously. My sister completely freaked out. She actually had a bottle of seltzer water, or like carbonated water. She shook it and then let it loose on the kids. Christy's got 3 girls, and when they were young, they used to torture each other. Actually, they really tortured the youngest girl, Izzy, because there was about a 7-year age difference between her and the next one. And so at some point, the older 2 would babysit Izzy. And at that point, cell phones were just coming around popular with cameras, and they would text Christy pictures of the things they would do to poor Izzy. And one time, they had duct taped her to the floor and over her mouth, and they texted my sister that picture. Another time, it was about this time of year, really cold outside, they put her in a bathing suit. She was about 4 years old, stuck her out on the back porch and let her cling up against the glass window when they took a picture of her doing that as well. They managed to survive. My granddaughter, who's now 5 years old, she's been quite creative as well. She went through a period where she thought she was an actual T-Rex. And so she would walk around with her arms this way with her 2 fingers. And she would growl at people, like strangers. We'd go to the store, and she'd be like, "Arr!" When she was about 3, she didn't like to go to bed. And so my stepdaughter was constantly checking on her. She creeped upstairs because she thought she heard her mumbling and playing with her toys up there. And my granddaughter was behind the door, and my stepdaughter could hear her whisper, Mommy, Fiona's asleep. Go back downstairs. A little creepy for a 3-year-old to think of that type of stuff. So anyway, if you're stressful around the holidays, remember the young people in your life, because maybe they'll bring you some joy as well.